The Young and the Restless spoilers shadows of the past, the hidden saga of Audra, Damian, and the ties that bind Audra's past is a labyrinth of secrets, an enigma that no one ever truly understood. In the hushed corridors of whispered rumors, two names emerge with an almost spectral inevitability, Damian and Amy. Their presence in the story is no accident, it is as if fate itself had entwined their lives with Audra's in ways that defy easy explanation. For years, rumors swirled like autumn leaves in the wind, whispers that Audra and Damian were once married, that they had shared a passionate yet tumultuous life together. Amy, a silent witness to the events that unfolded long ago, appeared as a mysterious figure whose eyes had seen more than anyone could bear. According to the murmurs of those who dared to speak of the past, Amy had seen everything, the heated arguments, the secret rendezvous, the love and the heartbreak, all set against a backdrop of circumstances so intense that they seemed ripped from the pages of a tragedy. Damian, now a man of quiet resolve and unyielding loyalty, holds the weight of that past like an invisible chain. Though he knows every detail of the dark chapter that once bound him to Audra, he has chosen silence over scandal. In a world where the revelation of these secrets could shatter lives, Damian has deliberately kept the truth hidden, not out of cowardice, but out of a desperate desire to preserve the life Audra has built for herself. It is a secret so horrifying in its implications that even the mere thought of it seems almost too painful to admit. Yet, beneath his calm exterior lies a fervent hope, a hope that one day, the hidden pieces of their past might reunite the scattered fragments of their lives into something whole. Central to this tangled web of secrets is the child that Audra and Damian once brought into the world. Their baby, a living embodiment of their shared history, is now raised solely by Damian. Every day, as he tends to the child with a tender devotion that belies his inner turmoil, Damian dreams of a future where the family he once lost might be restored. He envisions a day when Audra, long estranged and shrouded in mystery, will return to complete the circle. In his eyes, the child deserves to know both a father and a mother, a united family, unmarred by the bitterness of the past. Yet, the complex dynamics do not end there. Nate, another figure caught in this emotional maelstrom, finds himself facing a painful crossroads. Will he be cast aside, abandoned in the wake of a love story that seems destined only for sorrow? Nate's own feelings are a turbulent mix of resentment and self-sacrifice. Though he harbors a deep-seated rivalry with Damian, a rivalry that some fear might escalate into an all-out conflict over Audra's affection, Nate also understands the bitter truth that sometimes happiness must come at a great personal cost. In his heart, he wonders if sacrificing his own chance at joy for the sake of his younger brother's well-being is a burden he must bear, even if it means burying his own dreams beneath the rubble of familial duty. As the undercurrents of love, loss, and secrecy churned beneath the surface, one question lingers: is Audra to blame for locking away the truth that might have freed them all? Some argue that by hiding the remnants of her past, she not only condemned herself to a life of isolation but also set in motion a chain of events that left so many lives in disarray. Yet, it is perhaps too simplistic to cast judgment on a woman whose life has been a series of complicated choices, made under the pressure of circumstances that few could ever comprehend. Audra's silence, after all, was not born of malice but of fear, the fear that the revelation of her past would demolish the fragile stability she had so painstakingly constructed. Damian's unwavering support for their child is both his redemption and his torment. Every night, as he rocks the baby to sleep, he envisions a future where the wounds of yesterday might finally heal, a future in which Audra returns to reclaim not only her place in the family but also her own sense of self. For Damian, the reunion is not just about rekindling old flames, it is about forging a new beginning where truth, however painful, can become the cornerstone of a more honest and loving existence. He dreams of long conversations filled with apologies and forgiveness, of shared moments where the past is acknowledged without destroying the promise of tomorrow. But what of Nate, whose presence in this unfolding drama cannot be ignored? The tension between him and Damian has reached a fevered pitch, with the possibility of confrontation looming like an ominous storm cloud on the horizon. Nate's internal struggle is palpable. He is torn between the natural instinct to fight for what he believes is right and the selfless desire to see his family whole and happy. In moments of quiet introspection, Nate wrestles with the idea that perhaps his own path to happiness lies not in rivalry, but in accepting the sacrifices that come with loving family unconditionally, even if it means setting aside his own aspirations for the sake of his brother's dream of reunification. In the midst of these emotional battles, Amy remains a silent sentinel, a keeper of memories that might otherwise be lost to time. Though she does not actively intervene, her mere presence is a reminder of the day when the truth was both exposed and suppressed, a day that changed everything. Amy's eyes have seen the raw, unfiltered reality of Audra and Damian's relationship, and in her quiet observance, she carries the burden of a truth that might one day resurface to alter the lives of everyone involved. As the saga of Audra, Damian, and Nate continues to unfold, the tension between hiding and revealing, between sacrifice and self-fulfillment, becomes the very essence of their existence. Damian's hope for a reunited family, a family in which their child knows the warmth of both a loving father and a nurturing mother, remains the beacon that guides his every action. Yet, the path to that ideal future is fraught with heartache, betrayal, and the looming specter of a past that refuses to remain buried. Will Audra ever break free from the chains of secrecy and step back into the light? Can Nate find peace without feeling abandoned or betrayed? And most importantly, is there a way for all of them to reconcile the fragments of their shattered pasts into a future defined not by what was lost, but by what might yet be built together? The answers remain hidden, as elusive as the secrets that have haunted them for so long. In the end, this is a story not just of lost love and hidden truths, but of the relentless human desire to seek redemption and healing amid the ruins of our past. It is a testament to the fact that even the most horrifying secrets, when faced with courage and compassion, can be transformed into the stepping stones of a new beginning. For now, the journey continues, a journey where every step taken by Audra, Damian, and Nate is a step toward a future where the scars of yesterday might someday give way to the promise of tomorrow. Whispers of the past, a secret meeting and the weight of truth in a dimly lit corner of an abandoned cafe on the outskirts of Genoa City. Damian and Audra met in secret. The air was heavy with unspoken words as they sat across from each other, their eyes reflecting both regret and resolve. This clandestine encounter was not fueled by illicit passion or an adulterous affair, it was a moment of raw honesty, where two souls burdened by painful secrets decided that some parts of their past were better left untouched. Audra's voice trembled as she revisited old wounds. Damian, every time I think of what we once had, the mistakes, the secrets, it still haunts me. But I can't let the past define who I am now. Her words were soft, almost pleading, as if hoping that by confessing everything, the weight of history might be lifted. Damian, ever the steady presence, reached across the table, his hand gentle yet determined. Audra, we both know what happened. We made choices that neither of us is proud of. But we also know that dredging it all up will only hurt us more. I'm leaving Genoa, and I want to make sure that our past remains just that, a past. Their conversation flowed like a quiet river of confessions. They spoke of painful memories, mutual regrets, and the intricate tapestry of lies that had once entangled them. They agreed, almost silently, that some secrets were best buried. Damian revealed that he had no plans to stay in Genoa City. After Amy dies and Hold'em is finally behind bars, I'll be leaving. I'm not ready, or willing, to start a new chapter here, to have another family built on fractured trust. I won't accept Nate as my brother, not under these circumstances. His tone was resolute, leaving little room for negotiation. He believed in doing what was best for everyone, even if it meant sacrificing his own happiness. Yet, fate had its own plans. Unbeknownst to Damian and Audra, Nate had been lurking in the shadows, his ears pricked to every hushed word. In the stillness of that night, Nate absorbed every detail, every confession. The revelation of these long-hidden secrets ignited a storm of anger within him. Nate felt betrayed, not because his trust had been violated through any forbidden romance or act of infidelity, but because he had been left in the dark about a past that could have redefined their entire family dynamic. Back at home, Nate's mind was a chaotic battleground of emotions. How could they keep this from me? He fumed silently, the taste of bitterness lingering on his tongue. He wrestled with conflicting thoughts. On one hand, Audra and Damian had always been loyal, albeit secretive, about their shared history. On the other, Nate felt a deep-seated need for transparency, for an explanation that could clear the fog of deceit hanging over him. His anger wasn't born from jealousy or misplaced suspicion, he simply believed that the truth, no matter how painful, deserved to be known. As the days passed, the tension in Genoa City grew palpable. Rumors began to spread like wildfire. Nate, grappling with his newfound knowledge, found himself at a crossroads. Should he expose the secrets of Audra and Damian, bringing their hidden past into the harsh light of day? Or should he allow the matter to remain buried, accepting that sometimes the past is too heavy a burden to share? Damian, a man known for his unwavering moral compass, had made his decision with a clear mind and a heavy heart. His intentions were not to hurt anyone, least of all Nate. He had chosen to walk away from the chaos that plagued Genoa, seeking solace in a future free from the complications of old sins. His plan was simple: leave after Amy's passing and after Hold'em faced justice behind bars. By doing so, he believed he was protecting everyone from further pain. "This isn't about running away," he had told Audra during that fateful meeting. "It's about preserving what little peace we have left." Audra, too, felt the sting of Nate's inevitable reaction. She knew that Nate's anger stemmed from a place of hurt and confusion, not from a desire to tear apart a bond that was, in many ways, built on genuine care and shared history. "We never set out to betray Nate," she had whispered, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "Our past was a mistake, a chapter we wanted to close." It wasn't an act of defiance, but a moment of vulnerability between two people trying to salvage something pure from the ruins of what we once were. The question now loomed large: would Nate, fueled by his anger and sense of betrayal, decide to expose Audra and Damian? The truth was layered and complex. On the surface, their secret was just that, a secret between two individuals burdened by past mistakes. It was not an act of betrayal in the conventional sense, for there had been no clandestine affair aimed at undermining Nate. Instead, it was a painful reminder that even the most tightly knit relationships could hide scars that time had failed to heal. In the ensuing days, Nate's internal conflict deepened. Late at night, he would pace his room, the weight of his decision pressing down on him like an unrelenting force. "If I expose them, will I be doing what's right, or will I be destroying what little family we have left?" he wondered aloud. His thoughts were punctuated by flashes of memories, the times when all three had laughed together, when trust and love had been their guiding lights. Those moments, however fleeting, were now tainted by the knowledge of hidden truths. For a while, Nate contemplated confronting Damian directly. He imagined a conversation where everything would be laid bare, a raw, unfiltered exchange of hurt and honesty. But even as he envisioned this confrontation, doubts gnawed at him. Deep down, Nate understood that Audra and Damian's decision to keep their secret was not an act of malice. They had chosen silence out of a desire to protect what remained of their lives, to shield themselves from the fallout of revelations that could undo them completely. In a particularly poignant moment, Nate found himself revisiting an old photograph of the three of them together, a snapshot of happier times, frozen in the past. The image stirred a mix of longing and sorrow within him. "We were a family," he murmured, his voice thick with emotion. "Maybe this secret isn't a weapon to be wielded against them, but a painful reminder that we all have parts of our past we'd rather forget." Yet, the pull of truth was strong. The very idea of letting this hidden chapter remain forever locked away gnawed at him, threatening to unravel the fragile trust that still bound them. As the days turned into weeks, Nate's internal struggle became the silent backdrop to every interaction. Whispers and sidelong glances filled the corridors of their shared home, as if everyone sensed that something vital had shifted. Audra and Damian, aware that their secret was no longer confined to the shadows, moved with a quiet resignation. Their agreement to forget, to move on, now stood on a precipice. One misstep could shatter the delicate balance they had fought so hard to maintain. In a final, heart-wrenching moment of introspection, Nate sat down at his desk and began to write. His pen moved slowly, each word a battle between anger and understanding. In that letter, a letter he wasn't sure he would ever send, he poured out his feelings, the hurt of betrayal, the confusion of loyalty, and the fear that exposing the truth might do more damage than good. Nate's words were raw, honest, and filled with a longing for resolution that seemed as distant as a fading memory. The choice before him was monumental. Exposing the secret could bring about a reckoning, a cathartic purge of the past that might allow all of them to start anew. Yet, it also carried the risk of fracturing the bonds that still held them together. Would Nate decide that the truth was worth the potential ruin, or would he choose to let the past lie, preserving the fragile semblance of family they had left? For now, the secret of Audra and Damian lingered in the air like an unspoken promise of redemption or destruction. Their decision to walk away from Genoa, to leave behind the scars of old betrayals, was a testament to their desire for peace. And although Nate's heart was heavy with the knowledge of their hidden past, the true measure of his next move would be whether he could reconcile his anger with the understanding that some secrets, however painful, sometimes serve to remind us of the cost of love and the sacrifices it demands. In the twilight of uncertainty, as each of them stood at the crossroads of past and future, the path ahead remained shrouded in ambiguity. One thing was certain: the choices they made in the coming days would shape not only their destinies but the very essence of what it meant to be a family defined not by flawless transparency, but by the courage to confront the darkness within and, ultimately, to seek the light of forgiveness.